Sarvargyo Namaskara. I would like to start by putting on record my deep appreciation and gratefulness to Dr. Saraswati for having me here at such an important juncture. In this whole room is so much intellect, a bank of intellect, and I'm privileged to be a part of this. And I'm also privileged to be a part of your mission, Dr. Saraswati, doing such an important work so selflessly. Thank you. So, it is very well captioned, the caption is there also, diamond beneath our feet, right? So, all the valuable metals that we women like are beneath our feet. And we know that when somebody does divining and they find some gold or some diamond, what do? We quickly get the earth movers and the diggers and start digging so that we can access the gold, we can access the diamonds, we can do trade within the country and internationally and establish our might. There are young diamonds. They are not beneath the earth. They are among us. They are these people who live around us, our children. We need to also deploy the digging required to get these diamonds and give them the shine that they deserve, the shine that they really. They are diamonds, they are in their natural form. Today, how much we pay for a natural, we have, I don't know, ladies know this, I don't know if the gents know this. There are mined diamonds and there are lab-grown diamonds. And the mined diamonds are a shame in front of lab-grown diamonds because lab-grown diamonds shine. But the ladies, we really go after mined diamonds and we empty the pockets of our husband after that. Because those are our natural assets. These children who are our country's future, they are our natural assets. We talk about Viksit Bharat. Our beloved PMG has captioned it like that. Half of us who are older here either will not be here at 2047, or we will be too old to be effective at 2047. Okay, we should accept this truth. This is just the rule of nature. So who will lead at 2047? Who do you think will be at the helm of affairs? We are talking about Viksit Bharat. Those are none but these children. One will be a minister somewhere, one will be leading some other mission, but it is these children at 2047 who will be leading our nation. And that is exactly what we have to bear in mind when we are designing programs of skilling, reskilling, and upskilling today. With exactly this in mind, our government and the Ministry of Skill Development and Entrepreneurship has brought out so many different yojanas, which are very meaningful. I know that these yojanas are in Delhi and they are being interpreted to the country by different ways of the ministry, and we understand them differently and implement them differently, but then whatever we do, the facets of these are going to benefit our nation in a large way. So somebody has already given the statistics, 65% of our population is today beneath the age of 35. And this, dear friends, is the strength of India, believe me. Other countries might have pride that they have oil with them. Some countries may have pride that they have arsenal with them. We really must take pride in our youth. And youth, amazing youth we have in India. We talk about STEM all the time, I know that. We have amazing STEM capabilities. But non-STEM HSS also, we have wonderful youth doing wonderful work in our country. And this is one unutilized, untapped resource, I can say, that we are sitting on, and we really, when we realize the full potential of this, we will beat any developed nation just by this kind of young energy that we have in our country. It is estimated that by 2030, which is the aim of the SDGs, the UN SDGs, to realize that India is expected to have the largest working age population globally by 20. So the entire globe is going to be looking at us. However, this kind of an aspiration is not without its challenges. There are challenges in front of us. The first challenge is this thing that campus to corporate. Today, already the tool released by Dr. Saraswati and his team has shown how they want to manage the process. So we have to very diligently take stock of this gap that is being created from campus to corporate. So much so that giants like Infosys are running an entire facility, and not only that, that's an example, but other corporates, they're running entire facilities of training. Okay, they not only run their industry, but they are running a training huge infrastructure. So why is it required? Our child went to college for 4 years. Teachers taught them for 4 years. We had lab, everything. But these corporates need to run these training programs. That's what they say. Oh, you give a degree and send the child. We send them to the floor. They do nothing. We need to train them. Okay, this is exactly what's happening. This is a crevice that is there between campus to corporate that we should very carefully observe, we people who are the educators, who are the policy makers, and how to really gap this industry education mismatch. I represent what is called as INFLIBNET, Information and Library Network of India. We are an inter-university center of the UGC, and by mandate, we network university libraries in India, which means that we are responsible for providing all the knowledge resources, all type, textbooks, guidebooks, journal content, databases, and services above that. We also provide a software, a homegrown software in India called the Software for University Libraries, to run the libraries practically free of cost. And we also handhold the university libraries in India, giving them the adequate training that is required, and also we give the infrastructure help that is required for the university libraries. So by mandate we have been doing this, but we do much more than that. Today, INFLIBNET is actually lends its support to higher education in India itself. And we help the MOE, we shoulder several responsibilities with MOE to roll out the MOE programs practically at the practical rollout level from INFLIBNET Gandhinagar. So saying that in brief, there's a lot of things to be discussed on this important topic. That is exactly why I'm grateful to Dr. Saraswati for bringing such a group of a think tank over here. This can be a kickoff point where we really try to solve this problem and come out with practical solutions. We have taught enough, we have said enough theoretically maybe. Now we have to look at what we can do to tap all this so that we bring India and our youth into the forefront come 2047. So from INFLIBNET, I assure you our assistance and our collaboration at any juncture that you would need it. Saying that, thank you very much for the opportunity.